Today, we're tackling a massive question. Is this the end of code as we know it? We are witnessing a profound shift, moving away from writing complex software by hand to simply telling an AI what we want to build. And trust me, it's happening a whole lot faster than you might think.
So, let's just dive right in with the big question that's on pretty much every developer's mind right now. Can an AI really build a sophisticated, multi-layered application totally from the ground up? With a proper user interface, a backend, a database, the whole shebang? Well, the answer is a huge, resounding yes. And the results are, honestly, they're pretty stunning. To see just how, we're going to take a look at a complex application that was built from scratch, not by a human, but by a team of autonomous AI agents all working together.
So check this out. This application starts with nothing more than a single, simple text idea. And from there, it automatically kicks off an entire content creation workflow to turn that one little concept into a completely finished video.
And I mean, just look at this workflow. The AI isn't just doing one little thing, it's managing an entire assembly line. It takes an idea, turns it into a detailed prompt, generates images, creates a video from them, produces audio, and it even pulls out a key quote to overlay. Each step just flows right into the next, all to create a finished product from a single starting point. Incredible.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth does an AI pull something this sophisticated off? Well, it's not magic. It actually follows all the classic rules of software architecture, building all the individual pieces that a human developer would.
First up, there's a complete user-facing application built with Flutter, and it's got everything you'd expect. Dynamic menus, all the options and settings you could want, and even a slick drag-and-drop interface for building out these content workflows.
But that front end? That's really just the tip of the iceberg. It's constantly talking to a super robust back-end server, written entirely in the Go programming language, by the way, by the AI, and that's what handles all the heavy lifting, the core logic and the API requests. And of course, you got to put all that data somewhere, right? All the workflows, the users, the settings, the generated content. It all gets stored in a properly structured Postgres database with a whole bunch of interconnected tables. This is a real enterprise-grade setup. So think about that for a second. An AI generated thousands of lines of code across 3 distinct, complex layers: the front end, the back end, and the database. It truly is a marvel of automated engineering. But it also forces us to ask a really critical question. Is this super complex approach really the future? Okay, but what if all that complexity just isn't necessary? What if I told you there's a radically simpler, more powerful way to get the exact same result? This is where things get really, really interesting. And this slide, wow, this really lays it all out. On the left, you've got that complex, multi-layered system we just walked through. And on the right, the alternative. A single Python script, a single prompt. That's it. No dedicated front end, no back end, no database. Yeah, you heard that right. This one little script, generated by an AI agent, does everything that entire full-stack application did. It takes an idea and turns it into a finished video, complete with text and audio. All that other complexity, the Flutter app, the Go server, the Postgres database, it's just gone. So, what's the magic trick here? How is this even possible? Well, it's a completely different way of thinking, called the agent model. See, instead of building a rigid, static application, the AI generates a dynamic agent, basically a simple Python class, that can directly execute a workflow. And the best part? That workflow isn't hard-coded. It's just defined by simple, natural language instructions. This incredible jump from massive complexity to radical simplicity, well, it signals a true paradigm shift for anyone who makes software. This isn't just some new tool we're talking about, it's a fundamental change in how we even approach building things. And the implications here, they are absolutely massive. The role of the developer is changing right before our eyes. Code is becoming disposable, you can just regenerate it if you need to. The most valuable skill is no longer just writing the code itself, but your ability to clearly describe a goal in plain English. The focus shifts from the how to the what, which is a game changer that empowers both expert developers and newcomers. This Lego analogy just nails it. Building that first complex app was like the AI handing us a super detailed instruction manual for assembling thousands of tiny individual bricks. But with this new agent model, you just say, build me a spaceship, and it figures out how to assemble all the big complex components for you. Okay, so if giving instructions to an AI agent is what we're doing now, where does this path ultimately lead? If we're already moving away from writing massive amounts of application code, what's the next logical step on this journey?
Well, we might be heading towards a future that sounds like science fiction, where the AI doesn't even bother generating human-readable source code for us to look at. It'll simply take our instructions and create its own efficient internal representation, a kind of compiled logic that just gets the job done, completely bypassing any need for us to see or manage the code at all.
And that brings us to the big, provocative question we have to leave you with. This whole journey, from incredibly complex code to incredibly simple instructions, leads us to wonder, are we the last generation of developers who will ever write code by hand? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.